Is The Last of Us multiplayer toxic?
About to fucking quit this game if this motherfucker doesn't stop killing me and shit. Motherfuckers quitting the game and keep wanting to fucking fight. It's annoying as fuck. Dr. Poopy Pants, fucking dumbass. I'm about to leave or just let them fucking take the game. How about that? Shit. Dr. Poopy Pants.
Yes. Yes, it is. Dr. Pooplove here after a nice long cry. And yes, The Last of Us can be toxic. And I know most multiplayers do have an element of toxicity, but The Last of Us multiplayer can be particularly salty. So today I want to talk about 3 reasons why The Last of Us multiplayer is so toxic. But before we do, if you like this video so far, why don't you crab walk over to the subscribe button and give it a little teabag. But let's get right into it. The Last of Us multiplayer is toxic by design. And no, I don't think the developers at Naughty Dog were sitting there twirling their mustaches thinking, oh, we really want to turn this thing into the toxic cesspool that it is today. No, but rather I think this was a byproduct of creating such an immersive survival experience. Naughty Dog is known for their attention to detail and their design and immersive capabilities. And in this regard, they don't half-ass this. They put their whole ass into this. Now, in this game, you are playing as a survivor in a very serious post-apocalyptic universe where society and humanity has devolved, and people have gone back to their most primal instincts in order to survive. Naughty Dog has designed this game to be a slower paced experience where resources are scarce and survival by any means necessary is paramount. Because of this, every decision you make and thing that happens has tremendous weight. And with the slower pacing of the game, you are just left to stew in what has just happened. A lot longer than games like Call of Duty and Uncharted that focus on just racking up kills and getting you back into the action as soon as possible. And so every time you die, it can be very affecting and feel personal, and the tactics that are used can just feel so dirty. Some tactics certainly feel cheaper than others, but even the special executions are these dirty little taunts to celebrate victory. And so because of all this, it kind of just lets our blood boil every time something negative happens to us in the game. But despite these design choices, for the most part, I wouldn't want them to get rid of this for the sequel, because these exact design elements are also contributing to why this game is so good, why people have become so passionate about this game. because it really does immerse you in this survival experience and in this world. The second reason that The Last of Us Factions is so toxic is because the players themselves have broken up into factions. Let's see. You have your burst pub stompers, your shotgun campers, your shorty dancers, your crab people, your noobs, your wall shooters and aimbotters, your washed up Frag Nation has-beens, your stoners, your 999s, that guy who yells at you for not waiting around for them to heal you, the guy that yells at you for running like he's some kind of a lifeguard at the pool. You got your jocks, your popular girls, your geeks. You get the point. There's a lot of different types of player in this game because there's a lot of different playstyle choice in this game. And people have chosen theirs and are pretty opinionated about it, especially this long into this game's run. And there can be a bit of resentment towards players that use different playstyles, especially ones that you may deem as cheap or dirty. Look at all the hate mail that you might have in your inbox. It's probably from someone critiquing your playstyle, and I get it too. I hate when people use some of the cheap playstyles in this game, but Naughty Dog has left them in as some kind of a viable option. Well, except wall shooters. They can go fuck themselves and deserve any hate mail they get. But that aside, pretty much every playstyle can be critiqued in one way, shape, or form. And boy, will people let you know. And the third reason that this game is toxic is because it's old and it's lacking support from Naughty Dog. See, when a game first comes out, it's only slightly infected with toxicity. It's at kind of a normal level, and it's still in relatively good shape because it's being supported actively by the devs. And because it's active and on the move, we'll call this the runner stage. But as the game progresses and support for the game wanes, it gets a little worse in terms of toxicity as the casual players start to drop off and only the most hardcore remain, becoming blind to their own playstyles and making clicking noises, kind of like a clicker. And now this game is 8 years old and Naughty Dog has completely stopped supporting it, to the point where now there are some game-breaking bugs and glitches that have been left in the game for years at this point. And so I think it's pretty safe to say we're in Rat King mode. You see, a multiplayer community is kind of like a garden. You want to tend to it and cultivate it and make it beautiful. Naughty Dog has kind of left the community out to dry. And so now we're living in ground zero where spores are all over the place. It's dark and damp and smells like the inside of a toilet. And that's why Naughty Dog really has to stick around and be supportive throughout Factions 2 if we want it to not be as toxic. Dear Naughty Dog, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice these past 8 years playing this game with little support for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us wait this long to release or announce Factions 2. You see us in the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions. But what we are is a noob, an FN player, a pub stomper, a crab person, a princess, and a cheater. Please give us something. Sincerely yours, the Factions community. And if you got that reference, I love you. But that's my thoughts on the toxicity in this game. What do you think? What do you think causes some of the extra toxicity that we see on a daily basis? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, why don't you check out some of these up here? But otherwise, so long, Pooper Troopers.